Welcome to St. Catherine of Siena Parish in Norwood, Massachusetts. In 2015, we celebrated the 125th anniversary of the establishment of our parish. As part of the commemoration of this special event, we will take you on a guided tour of the church and parish grounds. In 1863, the Universalist Church in Norwood sold their old church, located on the present site of St. Catherine's Rectory, to the Catholics of South Dedham. The town of Norwood was not incorporated until 1872. This church was dedicated to St. Catherine of Siena on August 3, 1863, and was a mission of St. Mary's in Dedham. Due to the increasing Catholic population in Norwood, Boston's Archbishop Williams formally established St. Catherine of Siena Parish on March 21, 1890. He appointed Father James Troy as the first pastor, who served until his death in 1907. In 1908, Father Thomas McCormick, our second pastor, received permission and funding to construct a new church next to the original one. Construction began that October and was completed in time for Christmas liturgies in December 1910. In the cornerstone, located on the right front corner of the church, were placed the names of the reigning pontiff, Pius X, the President of the United States, William Taft, the Selectmen of Norwood, James Conger, Richard Oldham, Samuel Winslow, and James Hartshorn, as well as coins and newspapers of the day. The architecture of the church is traditional Gothic and was designed by McGinnis and Walsh, notable architects at the time, who designed buildings at over 25 colleges and universities throughout the country, including Boston College, the Law School at the University of Notre Dame, and the Basilica of the National Shrine of the Immaculate Conception in Washington, D.C. Later additions to the parish grounds include St. Catherine of Siena School, opened in 1926, the convent in 1940, which ultimately housed as many as 40 Sisters of St. Joseph until 1998, and Cushing Hall in 1958, which houses the school cafeteria and middle school classrooms. At the front of the church, Cardinal Cushing dedicated the statue of St. Catherine of Siena on April 30, 1947, as a memorial to those who died in World War II. 1947 also marked the 600th year since St. Catherine's birth in 1347. Statues of Saints Peter and Paul can be seen at the entrance to the church. Peter holds the keys to heaven, and Paul holds a sword to protect the faith. A commemorative banner was placed above the main doors for the 125th anniversary year. Entering the vestibule of the church, there are two windows which were commissioned by Bishop Minahan during the 1950s when he served as pastor. On the right side is Our Lady of the Rosary, and on the left is the Immaculate Conception. During this time, there was a renewed and heightened emphasis given to Mary due to the papal proclamation of the Assumption. The large stained glass window above the choir loft is the Te Deum window, completed in 1920 by the Charles Connick Studios, one of the most recognized names in the history of American stained glass. Other examples of Connick installations can be found in St. Patrick's Cathedral, the Princeton University Chapel, American Church in Paris, and the Daniel L. Morse Chapel at Boston University. The window includes depictions of Pope St. Gregory the Great, credited with the compilation of the Antiphonary, which were new styles in church music, such as the Gregorian chant, St. Cecilia, the patroness of musicians, composers, singers, poets, and organ builders, and St. Ambrose, known for the development of rhymed metrical hymns. The current organ was built by Robert Morrow of the Morrow Organ Company of Arlington. It is almost 25 years old as of 2015. An effort is now underway to retune the pipes and enhance the swell box. The main aisle of the church is flanked by two sections of pews on either side of the aisle. The kneelers in each pew were uncushioned until the late 1940s or early 1950s. Several modifications to the interior of the church were made by Bishop Minahan in the 1950s, after Hurricane Carol in 1954 caused significant water damage and nearly toppled over the steeple. The stained glass window on both sides were designed by Burnham Studios, who also created the windows for the National Shrine in Washington, D.C. The windows on the right-hand side, when facing the altar, have as their theme the sacraments, while windows on the left-hand side have the life of Christ as their theme. Windows in the top center of the church depict the 12 apostles. The light fixtures in the center aisle have alternating patterns of Key Rho, a sacred monogram, and Bishop Minahan's coat of arms. The Stations of the Cross are Italian mosaics which were created in the 1950s. To the left of the sanctuary, we find the Marian Chapel, a place to pray the Rosary. The window is Austrian painted glass depicting the Annunciation. Statues include the Infant of Prague to the right of the pews and Saint Therese Lisieux to the right of the altar, and on the altar, Mary with the child Jesus, which was recently refurbished. In the sanctuary area, the table altar, in front of the high stone altar, is used for the celebration of Mass and was placed there in the 1960s by Monsignor Sennett, who was pastor at the time, in response to the liturgical reforms brought about by Vatican II. Bishop Minahan's coat of arms can be seen on the altar floor below. The tabernacle is located on the high altar and is used as a repository for consecrated hosts not consumed during Mass. The stone altar in front of the tabernacle contains a relic of St. Catherine of Siena. Statues of St. Patrick can be found on the left side of the altar and St. Catherine of Siena on the right. These were crafted by John Kirchmayer and are considered museum-quality carvings. He also crafted carvings of the 12 apostles, which can be found on the benches on each side of the altar. Angel depictions on either side of the sanctuary are painted on canvas. The angel on the right has the inscription, Credo in unum Deo, I believe in one God. And the left-hand side, the angel has the inscription, Gloria in excelsis Deo, glory to God in the highest. Most notable is the stained glass windows above the main altar. The window, the Crucifixion, was created by the Conic Studios in 1915. It was the first window made by Charles Conic for a church. Stained glass panes depict the passion and death of Christ. Clockwise, from the lower left, we see the judgment by Pilate, washing of the apostles' feet, Eucharist at the Last Supper, agony in the garden, Judas betraying Jesus, scourging, carrying of the cross, Jesus speaks to the women, Jesus being taken down from the cross by Joseph of Arimathea, and the crucifixion in the center, with Mary Magdalene, Mary his mother, and Salome at the foot of the cross. The window on the left of the sanctuary was produced by Burnham Studios and has its theme, The Death of St. Catherine of Siena. The Pope viewing Catherine could be Gregory XI, whom Catherine assisted in returning to Rome from Avignon. Recently, all the stained glass windows were refurbished. The Chapel of the Blessed Sacrament, attached to the main church, has a newly built reconciliation room. Windows are Austrian painted glass which depicts several saints. The statues on either side of the altar were hand-carved by John Kirchmayr and are of Mary and Joseph. On the reredos, from left to right, we see St. Francis, St. Catherine of Siena, St. Patrick, John the Baptist, St. Barnabas, and St. Teresa of Avila to the right of Joseph. A statue of Pius X, adorned with his burial stole, stands to the left of the altar. They were originally given by Pope Pius XII to Cardinal Cushing, who then gave them to Monsignor Sennett to be placed in the church. St. Catherine of Siena Parish is a Roman Catholic community established in Norwood, Massachusetts in 1890. Responding to our baptismal call to holiness, we seek to live the teachings of Christ in the Roman Catholic tradition through worship, education, service, and evangelization. All are welcome at St. Catherine of Siena Parish. Regardless of your perceived status in the church, please know that you are invited, accepted, and respected at St. Catherine of Siena Parish.